Hello everyone, it is Pixel and today we're going to be making steak and cheese pie, which for that we're going to need chuck steak that I've already taken the liberty of salting and peppering so it can set for a little. Gonna need some mixed diced onions, celery, and carrots, which I bought all together. Gonna need some beef broth, bay leaves, sharp cheddar cheese, puff pastry sheet, and a pie crust if you don't have one made like I thought I did. Ooh, well. Alright. You know the drill. Let's get going. The first step is to get those lovely chunks of beef browning at the bottom of our Dutch oven. You can use a crock pot, but it's going to turn out a lot mushier than if you use this. Alright, well, let's get those browned. And once you've set aside the beef, you can put your carrots, celery, and onions in there to brown up and soak up all that leftover beef. In the middle of cooking that up, we're going to add some of our spices in. I've picked a nice generalized blend of like parsley and garlic and other things. And once that is cooked up some more, we will re-add our beef and any juice that came off of it while it was resting back into the pot. Alright, this is going to be cooking for probably about an hour or two, so I'm going to be adding in enough beef stock to just barely start covering it. And then I'll keep an eye on it as it cooks. And we're going to add in a little dash of some dark beer stout to give it a nice flavor. Last but not least, I'm going to be putting in some bay leaves. Remember, you're going to have to take those out after it cooks, but for now they're going to incorporate a lot of flavor into our beef. So let's cover that up and get it cooking. Okay, we're going to butter a pie pan. Wow, I almost said pie sheet. I'm going to take our dough, spread it out nice and evenly. If we have a little bit hanging over, that's okay. We're going to smooth out those edges. Alright, we have the bottom of our pie crust pressed into our baking dish, and we are going to be putting that into the oven at 450 for about 10 to 15 minutes until it's mostly cooked, because it is going to be going back into the oven once our filling is done. When our pie crust is done, it will be pretty well baked, but not super brown right away. And we're going to let that set and cool down completely for about an hour or two. And it's about halfway through our baking, and as you can see, the water is reduced down greatly. We're going to want to take out our bay leaves pretty soon, and we're going to try to add a little bit of flour or a roux in slowly but surely so it can start thickening up more. I chopped up a nice aged cheddar for myself, but the cheese part of our pie is going to be a nice white sharp cheddar. And I chose the aged Kerrygold one. So I guess we'll put that on in a little bit. Well, 3 hours later, your meat mixture for the filling should look thick and beautiful with almost like a gravy happening with it. Already took all my bay leaves out. We're going to be taking some of our stuff, taking out some of these things, scooping it into our pie. We're going to fill that up, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, the meat pie is filled, and the last step before we put our puff pastry crust on it is going to be to put a layer of our sharp cheddar cheese. Don't be afraid to get that in all the nooks and corners and press it down as you go. Alright, there we go. Alright, we have a layer of it. We're going to put our puff pastry on top, and I'll show you how it looks before it goes in the oven. Okay, our puff pastry is on. We have a layer of butter over it. We're going to stab some holes into it to let our stuff out. You know, some of the steam out and stuff. And into the oven it's going to go for about 40 to 50 minutes. Okay, our pie has cooked for probably about 40 of the 45 minutes I set it for. It is light and fluffy, and we are going to let it set for about 20 minutes and then dig in. Okay, well, our beef pie came out, and I should have got a picture when it came out of the oven, but the file says that it is corrupted, and I already cut into it and stored a bunch of it and all that jazz, so you did not get a picture of the finished pie, but it was golden brown. The top came out lovely. And the best part is here to try it. So let's go. Well, I've got to say this is probably one of my best experiments because I love this. It has a nice hot flavor. That layer of cheese is noticeable and gives it a beautiful flavor. I love the seasonings and the bay leaf flavor and everything that's in the pie. I would make this again. I don't know if I'd change up anything, but it's amazing. So if you make a meat pie much like this or want to try this out, leave me a comment and let me know. Leave me a like, tell me what you think, and I will see you next time. I have the rest of a pie to go eat. Later.